So first, thank you very much for this honor. First, I'd like to introduce myself briefly, if I can. I have the dubious honor of being the youngest ever member of Ukrainian Parliament, as well as the reason why I'm here is because I lead two biggest caucuses in Ukrainian Parliament. First, the Conservative caucus in our Parliament, and the second, the caucus on Intermarium. But of course, for me, this event represents something very deep and profound about the reality of the Central European spirit. The fact that this is initiated here is a very important symbol of the role that Poland has clearly captured in its achievements since the independence from communism since '91. Poland has clearly shown the way in terms of how to reform yourself, how to achieve success, and how to join European Atlantic institutions, self-respect and dignity. For us in Ukraine, for us the Ukrainian conservatives, it is a very important lesson that we are learning actively and we are studying for. And I hope that in this Collegium Intermarium, many more Ukrainians have a chance to learn this and to become these agents of all the great news and achievement that Poland has managed to have in the past. But to get to the meat of the matter, that is the topic of our conversation today, and the economic possibilities, I must say that our government is trying to basically revitalize various areas which haven't been touched for the entirety of our independence. We have opened up the land market. Of course, everybody knows Ukraine as the grand basket, the breadbasket of Europe, and we opened the land market finally for possibility of investment and privatization, so that many more countries can join in building up the economic potential that Ukraine could provide for the world and for Europe. We are launching the biggest privatizations in '91. We are also knowing the big issues with rule of law. We have launched and we are relaunching many of the institutions that are supposed to keep and inform and support investors in Ukraine, because we are very keen on telling the message to the world that Ukraine is open for business. And of course, the COVID had hit us particularly, and we are basically relying on cooperation with the world right now to truly launch with all these reforms that we have voted and started in our country into the years that will come, years of hopefully success and rebounding that come after COVID. But first, of course, subject of my country is a big one, both in terms of problems and in terms of possibilities. But nothing unites, when speaking with Ukrainians, our country more than the realization of the success that our Western neighbors have had. And in that, we are planning and building the vision to try and bring our countries closer in terms of institutions, in terms of reforms that we can learn from and replicate in our country, and in terms of cooperation with institutions such as this one. And I'm very clearly wanted to indicate that as our parliamentary caucus, the Intermarium caucus, has been launched with one clear objective in mind. That objective is to show that as far as the primary institutions of Ukrainian government, Ukrainian parliament, is very willing and very able, having more than a majority of MPs in this caucus from all the factions and all the parties, except for the pro-Russian party, who of course wants integration, but different integration, and that we are willing and able to support any steps that our government are announcing in terms of bringing countries closer. Of course, you are familiar with the Lublin Trinity, with the document that was signed by 5 nations here in Warsaw barely a week ago, as clear steps in that direction. And as far as Ukraine's parliament, that this idea of bringing together members of parliament to support such legislation is extraordinarily popular. And despite from the occasional political games that some actors play, that is not able to try and distract us from the grand possibilities that exist in cooperation, building up our joint institutions. And I hope with the great work that you are doing here, we can build up many more of them. And we can learn these lessons, again, with joining your institutions with self-respect and dignity. In that pursuit, we can learn from your story, from your example, and achieve that, not withdrawing from the basic values that made us who we are. And that, again, together, as we've done in the past, we can build the future of Europe. Thank you very much.